Alrighty, Baruch Hashem, here we are, back after 3 weeks of Ben Azmanim. After high holidays, we're going back into full force to the Zohar class. But before we mention a point about the Zohar in this week's Parsha, we wanted to mention something about how we could take away from the 3 weeks of high holidays that we had, the holy days, that we can't just leave it in last month and that's it. The whole point of these Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, and Simchat Torah, all the dancing that we did, all the teshuvah that we did, the point is to carry on to the whole year. The batteries were recharged, and if we don't pay attention, Chas v'shalom, it could lose a cellular battery, and Chas v'shalom, it could be not good. So how do we see that from this month's name? In Hebrew, this month is called Mar Cheshbon. Mar Cheshbon is translated into different things. Some say that it's called Mar. Mar means bitter because this month we don't have any holidays. We're just coming off a month full of holidays, uplifting us spiritually, and here we are all of a sudden, nothing. No Chanukah, no Purim, no Tu B'Shvat. But other sages tell us that another twist to this month's name, Mar Cheshbon, Mar means master. Not only that this month is not the lowest of the all months, it's perhaps one of the biggest months, if not the biggest, for two reasons. One is because Mar means master, and Cheshbon means to make a accounting. Hashem says, I just gave you a month, actually 2 months. Going back to Elul, remember Elul? And then Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah. I give you all this time for you to do teshuvah. First out of fear, out of respect, and now out of love. After finding out how much Torah means to us, how much Hashem is good to us. Now, this month, I want to see if you're going to carry on with what you promised me. Are you going to continue with that spirit of coming back to me? Or you say, okay, I got my judgment done for the year. I'm going back to my old ways. And that is the biggest tragedy. When a person is uplifted so much, and all of a sudden, he goes to his mundane matters. And that was one of the biggest tools of the evil inclination. He says, okay, you did your time. Good. You went, you prayed 5 hours, first day of Rosh Hashanah, second day of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Then you dance, Simchat Torah. Now, come on. We're human beings. Let's go back and chill. Hashem says, no. This is the month that I want to see you. I want to see that all the things, all the good things that I wrote for your record, that you're going to be healthy this year, you're going to have money, and if you're not married, you're going to get married. If you don't have children, you're going to have children. You have children, you're going to have nachat from your children. It depends on us. Mar Cheshbon. We have to show Hashem that we accepted upon himself to do teshuvah, and we're going to continue with that spirit. And we're not going to go down. We're just going to keep going up. Because that's what a Jew is. And that's what we're going to see. This is Parsha. Lech Lecha. Avram Avinu is always on the go. Avram Avinu is always on the go from the moment we met him. Actually, end of last week's Parsha. And this week, Lech Lecha, he's always going. He's moving from the south to Egypt. From Egypt, goes back to Eretz Israel. All his life, he's on the move. Because a Jew cannot be stationary. He can't say, I reached the level, Rabbi, that I'm going to be, I'm Shomer Shabbat now, I eat kosher, and, I also follow the purity laws in marriage. That's great. But if you don't build on that, a Jew that doesn't move forward, he's just going to step backwards. That's what Avraham Avinu is teaching us. This is Parsha. Lech Lecha. He was going on a mission towards the world to come for 175 years. From the day he got to know the Creator, from the age of 3, until he recognized he used his brain. Brain? Yeah, something that we have to use. Something that separates us from the animals. He looked at the sun. He looked at the moon. It can't be that these things don't have a creator. Until by using his brain, he got to the logical conclusion that there's a creator that created me, and he loves me, and I have to abide by his rules. Not like today, but people are want to give into their desires, so they bend over backwards and say there's no creator. They're just fooling themselves because they just want to do averot. So it's easier for them to say that there's no one in charge, so they don't have to keep the Torah. But that's not what a Jew is. The Jew, we are the children of Avraham Avinu. He's called Avraham HaIvri. Ivri means everybody is on one side of the world and he's on the other side. Everybody wants to kill him and he's all alone. By chance, who's going to win? If you leave it to nature, the many are going to win. But since we're above nature and we have God on our side, we're going to win. Just like our father won, Avraham Avinu, more than 4,000 years ago, and told us that you always have to be on the go and you have to be over the other side and not go with the flow of whatever's going on. That's how we have to follow. Okay, that's for Lech Lecha. We're going to get back to that a little further on. But we're going to go back also to a mashal, a beautiful mashal that I heard from Rav Dan ben Moshe, that there was a king who had an only daughter. And his only daughter, Baruch Hashem, there was one chatan, a groom that came in to wanted to marry the daughter of the king. So the king says, okay, you want to marry my daughter, but tell me what you want. Do you want riches? Do you want a house? No. I want to marry your daughter so I could be close to you. If I marry your daughter, that means I'm also marrying you. I'm going to be part of your family. That's the mashal. What we learn from this, God is the one who's giving his daughter to us. Gave it to us. The daughter is the Torah, and we're the Chatan. We came and we danced around the Torah and Simchat Torah, and we says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we love you, we want to be with you. So the question is, how do you know now that someone's going on the street now? Who knows who's the Chatan? Who's the groom? There's a million people out there. The groom is the one who's walking with the Kala. You could make no mistakes with the Kalais, that's the Torah. But the one who's walking with the Torah, that means he's the Chatan. Everybody else, they're called Noachites. They're not walking with the Torah. But if you keep walking with the Torah, with the dancing that you did with the Kala, then you're showing that you are still interested to what you committed to the Torah of Hashem. And Hashem is going to give us all the brachot of the Torah because he knows that the Chatan, the groom, means business. He's not leaving the Kala's hand for even a second. And that's what we have to do. Mar Cheshbon. Come into this month with the Torah. Don't say, okay, great, the Chatunah is over, the wedding's over, you stay home, I'm going to go party now. Nobody. We married, and we married the daughter of the king. We're not commoners anymore. If you married the daughter of a king, that means you're royalty, and with that comes responsibility of the Torah, which is the best thing for us to live and have a happy time in this world and for sure in the next world. Okay, moving on, I just wanted to mention one point. We finish off before the last point to a story that we saw strange. The Torah, we know that it's not a storybook. Everything that's mentioned over 5,000 years has been chosen by God in order to teach us a lesson. Going back to Bereshit, in Chamishi, we see that there's a person called Lemech, and he marries two wives. Back then, it was an in thing to do, to marry one wife to have kids, and to the other one to give her a cub to make her sterile, and to have her for beautiful purposes, to go around the world and chill with her, what have you. Wrong ideology, but that was what was done. Now, the Torah tells us that there was in this calculation of Lemech, that he married these two wives, there was a problem. The cup that he gave to the second wife to make her sterile, it didn't work. She also got pregnant. And she also had kids. She had two kids. The second kid, the girl, she's named Naama. And she's the one who ended up marrying none other than Noah. She's the one who entered the ark, and all the creation continued because this mistake that wasn't supposed to happen happened. And now we are today, Baruch Hashem, because God is telling us, you think you could go away from my decrees? You want to take a cup and make the woman sterile and you're going to have fun with her and chill out and you think you're in charge? No, Hashem is telling us in this, I think there's only 3 psukim, know that I'm in charge. You have to do your ishtadlut. Whether it comes with parnasah, getting married, having children. Even Chizkiah Melech, such a tzaddik, he didn't want to get married because he saw with the Ruach HaKodesh he's going to have bad kids. Hashem says, what are you doing? That's not your problem. You get married, you do the mitzvah what you have to do, and whatever comes out, comes out. We have to go into Mar Cheshbon this month and all our lives to know that whatever we're doing, no matter what, Hashem is in charge. If it makes sense or doesn't make sense, like Chazal tell us, our sages, that if the rabbis tell you your left is right or your right is left, you're going to listen. But it doesn't make sense. My right is right, my left is left. It doesn't have to make sense. Like we see from these 2 wives of Lemech, was something that was not supposed to be. That was the one that saved the world. Naomi came into the world, married Noah, and here we are today. And the last point on the Zohar of this week's Parsha, Lech Lecha, talks about focusing on the pasuk of Sur Mira v'aseh tov, that a person should always remove himself from bad influences and stick to good influences. If he wants to make it in this world. Of course, we can't take the pshat out of the pshat. It says when Avraham Avinu was coming out of Baghdad over there, coming to Eretz Yisrael, he married Sarah Imenu, and he also took Lot, the brother, the son of his brother, also came along with him. The Zohar says he wanted to learn from him to be a tzaddik. He didn't succeed. He tried at least. We're not going to get into it right now. But from the Zohar's point of view, Lot is considered the Yetzer Hara. Abraham is the Yetzer Tov. When Lot came and stuck himself to Avraham Avinu, Hashem separated himself from Avraham Avinu. He didn't talk to him. And all of a sudden we see later in the Parsha, when they have a little disagreement, that Lot goes to San Francisco, the Sodom of those times, to exercise his desires and moves away. Hashem comes and talks to Avraham Avinu. The Zohar is teaching us over here, if you want the Kedusha, if you want Hashem to be your partner in life, to envelop you and to always be with you, you have to remove yourself from the bad influences. You can't play it swinging both ways. If God, He is the God, go after Him. And if your desires, you can't be controlling your desires, then you go after your desires. You have to pay for that. But you can't be 1 foot here in the shul davening on Shabbat and on Saturday night going to the movie theater. That's not what a Jew is. Avraham Avinu is always on Lech Lecha. He's always moving forward. He might fall down. He wasn't perfect also. Lot came for him in the beginning. But he got to a point to know that if he wants to make it in life, he has to separate himself from bad influences. I tried working on you. You don't want to do it? Don't ruin me either. You're going to go to Sodom? Okay, that's your choice. But if you're going down to hell, don't drag me down with you. And that's what every person has to do. Rav Rivkah Miller says, our biggest enemy in life is we don't have time to think. We're so busy, especially in this generation. We thought with all the phones and technology, we're going to have more time. No, we have less time now. Less time with family, less time with our friends, with our children, less time to think. A Jew is a thinking entity. You have to put yourself time in the day to think, to allocate time to do cheshbon, mar cheshbon. You have to think, why am I here? But I just went through Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, Elul, Simchat Torah. Am I going to remove myself from the bad and stick with the good? Or am I going to go back to my old hobbies? B'ezrat Hashem, since we have our sechel and we have the Torah to go with that, we know what the decision is. We know what the answer is. Sumira la'aseh tov, use the example of Avraham Avinu even if the whole world is against you, Avram Ivri, choose God, because when you have God, the one and only, you have everything. He's going to make everything happen for you in the right way. In this world, and B'ezrat Hashem, in the world to come. Thank you.